Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Yes, guys, this is not Friday night. This is Saturday. I had some late work at the golf course. I couldn't break away. And then when I did, I had some other things that I had to take care of before 5 p.m. And I just didn't afford much time for me to be able to do the show last night. So we are doing it tonight. There's also no side panel that normally shows the topics. That's because again, it's Saturday. Madungus Creevy is out with his family, and it's one of the things. Hey, when it happens on a Saturday and not a Friday, things get kind of jumbled. So it's okay. It's okay. Which kind of makes it a throwback. This is a throwback show. There's no side panel. It's a throwback show of sorts. If the Broncos can throw back to 1977, I can throw back as well to maybe 6 months ago. Same kind of thing. Anyways, all right. I'm going to go to the chat. My nephew, Bobby, Robert Marino says, Bronco Bill, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, my friend, and my nephew. Thank you for chiming in. I know it's easier for you on a Saturday, which is great to always have you in the chat. Thanks so much, man. We got a lot of good topics. We got a couple of sad notes, and we have a very, very scary, very similar to years past involving a Bronco player. All right. Before we get into that, let's start out. Well, first, let me say, I hope everybody had a wonderful week. Next week is Halloween, next Thursday. I hope everybody is in the mood. Please do it safely. Please be very aware of the kids walking across the street and trick-or-treating and whatnot. We don't want any tragedy. We want everybody to have a wonderful, fun time. So please be safe. Please be sober. And, just be very mindful of what that day represents for the kids. All right. Okay. Let's get into very first topic. Alvin Kamara. After the Broncos beat the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara was seen embracing Sean Payton. Well, Sean Payton and Alvin Kamara go way back when Payton was the head coach of the Saints. I continue. And rumors flew about Kamara telling Payton, and I quote, "Come get me," end quote. Well, Kamara has responded to that very rumor, saying, and I quote, "Incorrect. I ain't requesting a trade, so it's a lie," end quote. However, he is a player to watch leading up to the trade deadline, which is November 5th. Well, November 5th is also the national election for presidency. So that's a pretty busy day, November 5th. I'm not going to get into politics and whatnot, but just get out there and vote. Get out there and vote, everybody. That's your legal right. Anyways, so whether that's going to be true or not, it's interesting. Now, my question is this: would anybody out there would Broncos country welcome Alvin Kamara? I know I would. Why not? Why not? I mean, he's a great player. He knows Sean Payton. He knows the system. I think Alvin Kamara would be a fantastic fit. However, what would we have to give up? That's the question. We gave up a ton for Russell Wilson, and we've given up, a ton for Sean Payton. Now, Sean Payton is paying dividends back to the Broncos in his second year as a head coach. But we lost the bank or mortgaged the farm, so to speak, with Russell Wilson. I don't know what it would be to get Alvin Kamara. He says he's not seeking a trade. He is trying to renegotiate his contract in New Orleans. Is that all smoke and mirrors? I don't know. Could be. Nobody knows. But November 5th is next Thursday. No, excuse me. November 5th is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from 1 week from this Tuesday. Yes, 1 week from this Tuesday. So it's right around the corner. Does Denver make a move? Do they make a move? And if they do, is it for Alvin Kamara? Don't know. Very interesting, but I thought that was interesting to bring because there was some rumors swirling around, and you kind of want to get both sides of the topic, both sides of the coin, so to speak. All right, Bo Nix has made Broncos history again. He made Broncos history when the Broncos won their fourth game, and that tied John Elway and Drew Lock for most wins by a Broncos rookie quarterback. Okay, let me get into that. After going 16 of 26 passing for 164 yards in the 33-10 win over the Saints, Bo Nix has set the record for most completions with 137 by a rookie quarterback in Broncos history. He broke the record held by John Elway of 123 completions. Nix 4 wins also ties him with Elway and Drew Lock, like I mentioned, for the most wins by a Broncos rookie quarterback, and there are still 10 games left. You think he'll break that record? Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. Will he shatter it? That remains to be seen. We still have the Ravens. We still have the Chiefs twice. We still have the Chargers again. We still got the Raiders again. So is he going to shatter it? Is he going to make it like 8 wins, 9 wins? Well, I predicted that the Broncos would go 9-8. So sure, if he goes, if Drew Lock, if Bo Nix gets 9 wins for the Broncos and shatters John Elway and Drew Lock's 4 games, yeah, that will be spectacular. But I'm telling you right now, guys, the ceiling, or I should say the sky's the limit for Bo Nix. He has really, really opened my eyes. I was a little skeptical because of his age as a rookie, but oh my gosh. I mean, he is really buying in to Sean Payton's game plan. He's buying into what Sean Payton wants to do, but also be mindful of this. Also, Sean Payton is taking the training wheels off of Bo Nix. He's letting Bo Nix do what Bo Nix does best. Improvise. Yeah, Russell Wilson did the same thing, but Russell Wilson's no Bo Nix. Bo Nix can scrabble out of the pocket, and he's got legs. He can see down the field. He can make the right read. Sure, he's made mistakes. Absolutely. But he's making fewer of them. Much, much fewer of them by all accounts. And that's a great thing. That's a fantastic thing. All right, let's go on to the next topic, Justin Stennard. The Denver Broncos have several players eligible for contract extensions. One of them is Justin Stennard. Stennard is currently on a 1-year deal, but has totally outplayed that contract. Stennard has been very good since taking the starting role after Alex Singletary tore his ACL and is out for the season. Justin has 3 sacks and has proven to be a good tackler, and he also can do good things in coverage. Perfect. That's what you want. They always talk about next man up, always. And by being next man up doesn't mean you're going to be just as good, but hopefully you will be. And Justin Stennard is proving that he is that guy. He is right there in the middle. And even though Broncos country and all of the Denver Broncos organization misses Alex Singleton, we know he'll be back, hopefully 100%. But we got Stennard filling in, and he's doing a great job. And we just got to keep that going, guys. Just keep that momentum. The Broncos started. We started on what looked like it was going to be a bad season, and now it's we're 4-3. So things are gelling. Like I mentioned before they were hitting the spokes. Now the spokes are starting to come together, and that's what we need: offense, special teams, and defense. Absolutely, that's exactly what we need, and we're getting that from we're getting that from Justin Stennard. It's a perfect thing. That's exactly what we need. All right. That being said, there are 7 Broncos currently on IR. And these guys, 2 of them are out for the season. The other 5 have an eligibility to come back. Here it is. Every NFL team has injuries, and Denver has had their share. As the Broncos get ready to take on the Carolina Panthers, there are 7 players who are on the Broncos IR or PUP, which is physically unable to perform list. 5 are eligible to return soon, and 2 are season ending. These players who are eligible to return are linebacker Drew Sanders, week 5. He still hasn't come back. We're approaching week 8. He still hasn't come back. He was eligible in week 5. Defensive back Ladarian Turner-Yell, also eligible in week 5. He hasn't come back. Running back Tyler Beatty, he's eligible week 9. Josh Reynolds, and we'll get into a topic about Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, eligible week 10 on an injury. Center Luke Wattenberg, week 10 also. Those 2 out for the season are Alex Singleton and offensive lineman Quinn Bailey. Okay, so we have guys from week 5 that are eligible that haven't come back. And they haven't come back for various reasons. The rehab is not going well. They're not 100%. The team doesn't want to take a chance. Maybe the replacement players are playing better, and they just want these guys to really, be at full strength, 100%. I don't know what the reason is. They don't say it, but we're entering week 8, and these 2 guys were eligible in week 5. So something's going on, whether it's the replacement guys, the next man up that's doing the job, or it's something else. They just haven't said. Robert Marino, my nephew, Bobby says, why so many injuries? That's a great question, because this has happened for several years. It happened under the Hackett years. It has happened under the Sean Payton years. The only thing I can equate it to is, I would have to say, conditioning. I just don't know whether or not the conditioning has changed. I know the players have gotten stronger. They've gotten bigger. They've gotten faster. I know the league is really trying to eliminate, the devastating hits. But hey, when you're being tackled and you're being rolled up on, and you got these bigger guys, 350, 375 pound linemen, and crashing down your leg, and your leg gets bent in weird ways it's not supposed to, something's going to give. Something is going to give. Most likely it's going to be an ACL or an MCL, an ankle. You don't hear too many hips, but it could be a hip pointer. It could be a lot of different things. And I really believe it's conditioning. It's the players that are just bigger, stronger, faster, more aggressive. I think a lot of that has to do with it. But that's a really good question there, Bobby. Really good question. Why so many injuries? I really don't know the answer, but I would have to lean towards conditioning and the size of players that the NFL has now. I mean, they're just beasts. They're just big, fast, strong, quick, hard hitting, all of that stuff. All right. Now, the Denver Broncos play the Carolina Panthers this Sunday in Denver. There's a former Bronco, 2 of them now, that are on the Carolina Panthers. One of them just signed recently. Here it is. Carolina Panthers have signed former Broncos defensive lineman Jonathan Harris off the Dolphins practice squad just ahead of the matchup with Denver this Sunday. Denver opted not to re-sign Harris when he hit the free agency. He will now join the Panthers and Josie Jewell just in time to face his old team. Josie Jewell will also be playing against his old team, Denver, come this Sunday. You don't think Josie Jewell has a chip on his shoulder? You don't think Josie Jewell wants to beat the Broncos in Denver? Just like the Broncos lost to the Steelers and Russell Wilson, even though Russell Wilson didn't play in the game, he was still on the team that beat the Broncos of the team he was on previous. You don't think Josie Jewell's going to be amped up? You don't think Jonathan Harris is going to be pumped up? Absolutely they are. No doubt about it. You cannot go to another team and have the kind of sour taste in your mouth like Josie Jewell. He wanted to stay in Denver. Didn't happen. Other players have wanted to stay in Denver. Justin Simmons. Didn't happen. You don't think those guys have a chip on their shoulder? Yeah. Josie Jewell and Jonathan Harris, now on the Carolina Panthers, former Broncos, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. I will get into my prediction at the end of the show of what I think the Broncos and the Panthers score will be, how I think it'll play out. But in the meantime, we continue on with different topics. We continue on with those in the chat. And I just have a bad feeling about Josie Jewell on the Panthers, middle linebacker, knowing exactly what Denver does and how they want to work things. You don't think that's going to translate into the Panthers defense? Yeah, I do. But I'll get into all that towards the end of the show. Let's back to the chat before the next topic. D-Rock says, Big Bill, I say, what's up, D-Rock? Just to let you know, D-Rock and Rudy, there is no topic listed on the right-hand side of the screen because this is a Saturday show. This Saturday show, every Saturday, if I have to do a Saturday show because Friday gets interrupted for whatever reason, it's going to be Throwback Saturday. So Throwback Saturday has no topics. It's like the Broncos throwing it back to 1977 or whatever year they want to throw it back to. This is Broncos Breakdown Throwback Saturday. That's why there's no topics. There's other reasons, but that's the best one. All right. D-Rock also says a lot of podcasters are screaming. Screaming for what? A lot of podcasters are screaming. Fill me in, D-Rock. I'm lost. Fill me in. Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law from Las Vegas, says, yes, I'm here. Nice to have you, Rudy. Thanks so much for dropping in. D-Rock says a lot of podcasters are screaming trap game. It has me caught. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I totally buy into that. I totally buy into it. You know why I call it a trap game and why a lot of people are calling it a trap game? Because right after that, we play the Baltimore Ravens. And the Carolina Panthers are 1-6 or 1-5. I'll get to that. 1-5 or 1-6. I think they're 1-6. Your Broncos could look past the Panthers and say, okay, we got to gear up for the Baltimore Ravens because we have them next week in Baltimore. So let's just get past this game. Let's just focus on the Baltimore Ravens and we'll be okay. You can't do that. You can't do it. You cannot let your guard down. You can't. You have to stand solid. You have to play this game like it's a playoff game, like every game counts, which it does, obviously. But you have to play this with the same intensity that you would the Baltimore Ravens. Now, in other sports, when you have 82 games this season, like hockey, or 82 games in basketball, or 162 games in baseball, you're going to take some games off because you cannot sustain that energy for that length of time. You just can't. It's humanly impossible. The adrenaline doesn't get up for lesser teams. So the Broncos cannot get caught flat-footed in this game. They only have 17-game season. Every game counts. Every game counts big time because you only have 17 of them. Don't let this be a trap game, guys. Don't let this be a game where you look past. You cannot look past Carolina. I'm telling you, I mentioned it just in the last segment. Josie Jewell and Jonathan Harris, former Broncos, are going to come blazing. They want this win. They want to send a statement to the organization. You shouldn't have gotten rid of me. Shouldn't have let me go. You should have signed me. Should have kept me on the team. Don't look past Carolina. Don't. This is a trap game, big time. And don't let the Broncos get trapped in the Carolina web that the Panthers may weave. Don't let it happen. I know Halloween is next Thursday. Don't let that spider web, don't let that, what's it called? Black Widow. Don't let the Black Widow sting you. Don't let the Panthers trap you into not playing your game and the way the Broncos have played it for the last 4 games. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. All right, let's get back to the the chat. D-Rock says, I'm sorry, but let's go Dodgers. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. I'll tell you what. Speaking of the Dodgers, that's my next topic. I know it's not football related. It's sports related. It's important to bring it up. And since D-Rock has no idea the layout that I have on my show because it's Throwback Saturday, there are no topics listed. But D-Rock, I swear, dude, you must have ESP or you must have some kind of freaking thing going on because you're incredible. My next topic, look what it says, guys. Dodger legend passes. I'm telling you, D-Rock, I didn't try and pull that. That was the very next topic. So here we go. Here we go with this sad news regarding former LA Dodgers pitcher Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela, the phenom for the LA Dodgers, has passed away at the tender age of 63. Valenzuela was National League Cy Young Award winner as well as Rookie of the Year in 1981. Okay, let me continue. There's a connection there with 81 and this year. He was very instrumental in the Dodgers beating the New York Yankees in that same year. The cause of death or other details were not disclosed as I brought this show. I have heard from, I haven't confirmed it, so I'm not really going to say it's true, but I did hear that he may have passed away from cancer. I don't know that. I'm not saying that's true. I don't know. So that's what I heard, but don't hold me to it because I don't know. That was just what I heard. Now, the connection between 1981 and the Dodgers beating the New York Yankees. The Dodgers are playing the New York Yankees this World Series 2024. And last night, Freeman came up in the bottom of the 10th inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Did something that, first off, has never happened in the history of the World Series, but it was also a flashback. Speaking of flashbacks, since this show's a flashback, it was a flashback that happened 36 years earlier. Not against the Dodgers. Not against the Yankees, but against the Oakland A's. In 1988, Kirk Gibson of the Los Angeles Dodgers came up in the bottom of the 9th inning, a runner at second, and Mark Davis, I believe, Davis, I know that was his name, was at second base. Kirk Gibson hit a 2-strike, it was 3-2, hit a 2-strike home run over the right field wall to win game 1 against the Oakland A's. and the Dodgers went on to win the World Series in that year, 1988. Last night, 36 years later, Freeman steps up to the plate, injured ankle, and also Kirk Gibson had injured ankles as well. Talk about Hollywood writing a script. You can't write this stuff. You really can't. Nobody would believe it. But Freeman steps up to the plate. Very first pitch from the Yankee bullpen pitcher who hadn't pitched in a month, throws it right down the middle, and Freeman hits a walk-off grand slam, bottom of the 10th. The Dodgers beat the Yankees 6-3. First time in Major League Baseball World Series history that the game has been won by a walk-off grand slam. Wow. I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Nobody would believe it. But it happened. It happened. It's crazy. Crazy. I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. I'm a big Cubs fan. Most of you know that. If you don't, well, you should. I talk about it a lot. I'm a huge Cubs fan. And since I don't have a dog in the fight, I want to see a good series. Freeman has a lot of off-field issues with his son. I wish him all the best. Thoughts and prayers go up to his son. It's just what a moment for him last night to kind of, I wouldn't say forget about his son. That's not the right word or the right phrase, but kind of, have some joy, a little bit of happiness and joy. On the flip side, you got Anthony Rizzo, a former Cub, is on the Yankees. I would like to see that. You also have Juan Soto playing in his very first World Series. I'd like to see that, a former Padre. So, my grandson's a big Padres fan. So I like him. So is Bobby. So I'd like to see that. So, hey, whoever wins, it's gonna be a good storyline. But man, thoughts and prayers go out to Fernando Valenzuela's family. Fernando, may you rest in peace, my friend. And what a fantastic career. What a fantastic career Fernando Valenzuela had. Everybody called it Fernando Mania. It was crazy. But what an amazing phenom he was for his entire career. All right, back to the chat. Let's see. Wow, you guys are blowing this thing up. Awesome. Okay, D-Rock says Freddie freed us from losing. Yeah, Freddie Freeman. There you go. Freddie freed you. Hey, I like that. Freddie freed us. That's good, man. That's good. Clayton Huron, what is up, my friend? Thank you so much for being in the chat. Says, hey, guys. I say, hey, what's up, Clayton? He follows up by saying, smash that like button and share, guys. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Thanks, guys, for all your support. Really do appreciate it. D-Rock says, Gibby. Oh, man, that was electric. That was electric in 1988. I'm telling you, that was an absolutely magical moment. No doubt about it. And to quote Vin Scully on that home run, after he left the crowd all do what he did, the very next words he said, on a season that is so improbable, the impossible has happened. Yeah, absolutely. What a great Vince Scully was the absolute best announcer. I mean, there's been some great announcers, but I'll tell you what, there's been some great announcers. Vince Scully was way up here. He set the bar nobody has even come close to. Nobody's come close to. His description of the game, watching the Dodgers in '88 against the Yankees, you could not tell that he was a real time, full-time Dodger announcer. You couldn't tell. He was not a homer. He did not sit there and talk about the Dodgers the whole time and not the Yankees. He talked about both sides. He talked about players. He talked about coaches. He talked about behind the scenes. Vin Scully was absolutely amazing. Vin Scully's gone. Tommy Lasorda's gone. And now Fernando Valenzuela's gone. Wow. What can you say? All right. Let's see. Clayton Aron said, how's the weekend, bud? Weekend's going great. Sorry I wasn't here last night. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I stayed late. I had to work late at the golf course. We were super busy. And then I had some things to take care of, some business things I had to take care of that had to be done before 5 p.m. And I just didn't allow me any time to get the show. I did not want to bring a subpar show. I didn't want to bring a half-hearted show, a non-focused show. So that's why I asked Mike if I could push it off to Saturday, and that's where I'm at today. And that's why it's called Throwback Saturday. There are no topic listed, which normally are there. It's a throwback. I don't even have my emblem, my logo. It's a completely throwback Saturday, but it's okay, guys. It's totally okay. It's all good, man. Just glad you guys are here enjoying the show. Let's see. Clayton asked me about my weekend. He says he went on a 5-mile hike in Lapen Peak. Great time. All the colors in the trees and scavenger hunt too. Nice, dude. Way to go, man. That's awesome, man. That's so much fun. So much fun getting out in nature and enjoying yourself, and enjoying the crisp air, the water, whatever, the color, the changing of the trees because it's fall. That's great. That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Get out there and totally enjoy it. D-Rock says, if the offense struggles this game, talking about the Broncos and Panthers, how quick does Sean Payton and Greg Penner pull the trigger on wide receiver or tight end like a Deontay Johnson or Njoku? Whew. Wow. That is a great question, D-Rock. Great question. I don't know. I'm not sure. Right now, the Broncos are on a winning streak, so I'm not really sure that you want to upset the apple cart, so to speak. I'm not sure you want to disrupt or maybe put some negative thoughts and feelings and discouragement in a wide receiver or tight end. I really don't know. I'll tell you what, Mims is starting to shine. Troy Franklin is shining. Cortland Sutton, of course, he is. So those are the guys that I would want to rely on and focus on. Tight end, well, that's a different story. Troutman hasn't really been all there. It's just the tight end position is sorely missing. That's for sure. But when it comes to wide receivers, I'm happy with who we have, and I just don't know you want to upset the apple cart. If you don't want to disrupt right now in this win streak. That's how I see it. Okay, I could be wrong, but the Broncos again cannot look past Carolina. They have to put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, in the Carolina game. They have to put. This is a statement game. It could be a trap game, and it probably is. But I hope the Broncos look at it as a statement game. Make a statement to the NFL that says, hey, the games that we won is not a fluke. And I know that we're playing the Carolina Panthers. That doesn't matter. You have to play who is on your schedule. That being said, you cannot look past Carolina. Like I've mentioned many times, on any given Sunday, any team can win. Any given Sunday, any team can win. You cannot look past any team, period. You can't. Look at some of the games that have played this year. Holy smokes. There's been upsets left and right. How about the Cardinals being the Chargers last week? Nobody saw that coming, or on Monday. Nobody saw that coming. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was fantastic. Great game. Great outcome. Loved it. But nobody really saw it coming. That's why the Chargers were favored. See? So you cannot let your guard down. Was that game a trap game for the Chargers? Most likely, yes. And they got trapped because they allowed it to be trapped. But then again, it's the Chargers. They let every team do that. So anyways, the Broncos cannot get caught up in this Carolina Panther web, speaking of Halloween. And don't let the spider bite you. Don't let the Black Widow get you, man. Don't let it sting you. Move out the way, smash the head, and move on. That's what the Broncos have to do this coming Sunday. All right. Let's see. Bobby says, thank you for always giving us the best when it comes to your show. Bobby, thanks so much, man. I know you're my nephew, but I know you're very, very honest. I know you've said many things to me, off the show and on the phone or in text that says, "Hey, man, good show, but this. Hey, I take it very, very seriously. I take it very, very much to heart. Thank you so much for your positive comment. Really, really do appreciate it. Thanks, bud. Thanks a million, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Bobby follows up by saying, "So far, are the Broncos tricking or treating?" Wow, good question. When the Broncos first started out, or I should say, when the season started out with the Broncos, I thought they were tricking. In other words, nobody knew who the Broncos were. It's just they show something and it wasn't true, and then they tried this and it didn't work. I would say now, are they treating? Yeah, they're treating the NFL and particularly the AFC West that they're for real. They are treating the AFC West like we can take you over. We can win this thing. We can go to the playoffs. Are they tricking any teams? Well, I mean, they have some tricks up their sleeves, absolutely, like they did against the Saints and like they tried to do against the Raiders with the opening onside kick last year, things like that. But when it comes down to brass tacks, so to speak, I think Bo Nix is treating the Broncos country and organization into exactly what he was going to be and why they drafted him. He is treating the Broncos organization and the fans and the team that I'm the real deal. I'm treating you to this is how I am. This is how this team's going to be under me. We are a team in progression forward, not backwards, but forward. And I'll get into some of that in a little bit when it comes down to quarterback ranking and all of that. But the bottom line is the Broncos are tricking some teams into thinking one thing and they're doing another. And they're also treating the Broncos country and organization into this is why you drafted me, because I am the real deal. I am the real deal. Trick or treat, Halloween, Broncos are on both sides of that trick or treat comment. And very, very good question there, Bobby. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. The topic of the show, again, not up there. The topic of the show is Josh Reynolds. Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds was shot last Friday, October 18th. Not yesterday, October 18th. All right? Here it is. Denver Broncos, and I've got a follow-up too that I'm going to read off the phone. It came in right before the show, so I didn't have a chance to edit it and put it on my notes, but I will read excerpts from it in regards to the update to Josh Reynolds. Here it is. Denver Broncos wide receiver Josh Reynolds and another man was shot early Friday morning, October 18th. According to the 911 call, shortly after 3 a.m., okay, there's a problem right there. Why is he out at 3 a.m. in the morning? I know he's young. They're going to nightclub. What was it, a nightclub? No, it was a strip joint, a strip club. Really? 3 a.m.? Nothing good happens after midnight. Hello? Nothing good happens after midnight. What are you doing out at 3 a.m.? Let me continue. This really has a lot of similarities to a death of a former Bronco, and I'll get into that too. Years past, but a former Bronco. This has very, very close similarities. Let me continue. Let's see. Shortly after 3 a.m. on the 18th, the caller reported he was driving a blue Ford Bronco, ironically, blue Ford Bronco, and said he was shot. This comes from 9 News Denver. When officers responded, they located the victims. Among them was Josh Reynolds, who, according to court documents, was shot twice, once in the arm and once in what? And once in the back of his head. Wow. Hang on. I continue. Another man was shot in the back. A third victim was wounded by shattered glass. Remember, they're in the vehicle, okay? The Broncos sent a statement to 9 News on Reynolds' update. And I quote, Josh Reynolds was a victim of a shooting on Friday the 18th in Denver and received treatment for what? For minor injuries. Ooh, that means he just got grazed. Wow. All right, let me continue. I'm still quoting. Out of respect for the legal process, we will defer further comments on this matter. End quote. Reynolds and the other 2 men were at a strip club, but left around 2:45 a.m. that morning. Again, what in heaven's name are you doing out so freaking late or early in the morning? Let me continue. They were fouled and later shot at by 2 other men that left the strip club at the same time. One of the shooters who was arrested said, and I quote, I was helping a friend who asked me to follow the victims due to a prior conflict, end quote. What was that conflict? Nobody knows. Was it disclosed? Was it legitimate? Nobody knows. It wasn't disclosed. Let me continue. Reynolds is currently on IR for a football injury and is not expected to have his stay longer due to the shooting, per Broncos media, or the personnel, the people who say who give out the reports. Okay, so that's according to 9 News. All right, this is the update on Reynolds shooting. All right, here it is. Okay, here we go. As Josh Reynolds was conditioning on a side rehab field, Sean Payton was leading the rest of the Broncos through practice on another field. So Josh Reynolds is rehabbing. He's at the field. All right. Sean Payton says, I've had a chance to talk with him. He was pretty shaken up. Well, no doubt. Of course you'd be shaken up. The incredulous real-life drama hit a few of Reynolds' teammates, and here's what they had to say. Garrett Bowles said, and I quote, definitely a crazy situation where we could have lost one of our teammates in this incident like that. Goes on and says, I'm still quoting, I love Josh. I'm super close to him. I don't want to say too much on it because I know it's up to the authorities here in Denver and let them handle the situation. And hopefully justice is given to the people who were involved in the incident. But I'm very, very thankful. God is good. I think you have to count your blessings knowing that in a lot of situations like that, people don't always make it out. But Josh is just one of those special kids, and we're grateful that he's still here. End quote. That's a great comment by Garrett Bowles. Defensive lineman Zach Allen said, and I quote, we're glad he came out of this relatively unharmed. It's a scary situation and sounds like they're still trying to figure everything out. We don't know that much because it's an ongoing investigation. It's just, this is crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, the connection that this has to a former Denver Bronco defensive back, and that was Darren Williams. Number 27, Darren Williams, I believe it was 15, maybe 20 some years ago. He and was it Walker? Was it Jared Walker? No, that doesn't sound right. Anyways, the wide receiver Walker for the Broncos and Darren Williams were coming out of a nightclub, and they went into a limo, and they were mistakenly targeted. They were not supposed to be targeted. The shooters were targeting somebody else, and they took the limo as a mistake, and they shot through the window at point blank range, right up next, side by side cars, and shot Darren Williams in the chest. Oh, Javonte, that's it. And he passed away falling into Walker. was it Javonte Walker? I think Javonte Walker fell into his lap and unfortunately passed away right there. And Javonte Walker was never the same. Yeah, I think he may have finished. That was at the end of the season. The Broncos missed the playoffs. This is around Christmas time. And I don't recall if he played the following season, but Walker's career was cut short. He was just devastated by one of his really, really good friends passing away in his lap. This is eerily similar to that. A nightclub, late at night, being shot in a vehicle. Thank the good Lord that that Josh Reynolds was saved, that he wasn't killed. That was absolutely that brought me right back to that Darren Williams situation. I remember hearing that, and I was devastated. I was crushed, absolutely crushed. I really liked Darren Williams, such a young and upcoming defensive back. Just very, very sad. Anytime something like that happens, it's sad. And this has happened way too often. Way too often. I know that these guys go out, and I would dare say that a lot of them wear bling, or a lot of them wear these expensive clothes, or they come in these expensive cars, I should say. And it's just, don't go out there and be a target. Don't set yourself up. Okay? I'm not saying that is what Josh Reynolds did. And I'm not saying that's what Darren Williams did. But I'm saying it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. When you're a celebrity or whatever, you're going to be targeted. It's unfair. It's not right. Not right whatsoever. Be cautious. Be careful. All right. Okay. Let's see. D-Rock says Barton was the man last week. Do you think this will be Zach Allen breakout game? Wow, very well could be. Very, very well could be. When it comes to Zach Allen, absolutely. Barton, oh my gosh, I got a topic on him too. Just fantastic game against the Saints. Absolutely, no doubt. That was his career game. Absolutely his career game. All right. D-Rock follows that up by saying the wildest part of the situation is we just now heard about it like a week later. You're talking about the Josh Reynolds one. Yeah. I actually broke that to Madungus Creevy was it Wednesday, Tuesday? No, it wasn't Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday. I broke it to him. And he's like, dude, you realize you were the one that broke it? The story, nobody on the MHRT network even had a clue about that. But then again, once the word got out, then everybody started doing it, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm just glad that Josh Reynolds survived that shot. And it was just a graze, and he's going to be no worse for wear. Thank goodness, no worse for wear. However, the situation was disturbing, and Sean Payton said that the Denver Broncos have set up a counseling area, or counseling people that if they need counseling to get through this incident, that it's provided. So that's good news too. But you talk about scary call. You talk about seeing your life flash in front of your eyes. Yeah. Very, very, very scary situation. No doubt about it. All right. Let's go on to I got 4 more topics. This is the fourth one as we head down to the last one. This one is Sean Payton on Troy Franklin. Excuse me. Troy Franklin, Broncos rookie wide receiver, has struggled this early season, but Sean Payton has glowing words to say of Franklin's growth these past few weeks. Payton said, and I quote, "I think there's confidence not only in what he's doing, but confidence in playing at this level. You certainly see it week to week. He's someone that runs well. He knows how to separate. I think it's part of being a young player, but finding that role. I think he's progressing pretty quickly." End quote. Franklin had 5 catches for 50 yards in the Broncos' 33-10 win last week. I say Troy Franklin is absolutely coming into his own. He was on the same team with Bo Nix in Oregon. And yes, the NFL is a little different, a little faster, a little quicker, a little hard-hitting. Terminology is different. Coaching is different, all of that. but Troy Franklin is buying into Sean Payton's offense. He's buying into the scheme, and he's learning the NFL the way he needs to learn it and the way he needs to play it. That is fantastic. With Troy Franklin, once we get Josh Reynolds back, and we got Cortland Sutton, and we got Mims, we got Valet. Oh my gosh, we got weapons, guys. We got weapons. Are they household names? No, not all of them, by any stretch of the imagination. Nowhere near. A lot of people know Cortland Sutton. Hardly anybody knows Troy Franklin, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims, Valet. That they don't know them, but they certainly will soon. If the Broncos keep doing what the Broncos are doing, they are going to learn those names, and they're going to be household names, and they're going to be on the fantasy teams next year. Absolutely, fantasy leagues, no doubt about it. If the Broncos keep doing what the Broncos are doing, things are moving up, guys. Things are moving up. No doubt about it. All right. Speaking of Cody Barton, which D-Rock brought, I'll bring that back in. He said Barton was the man last game. Absolutely. Speaking of Cody Barton, he was awarded with something, and here we go. In the game against the Saints, Cody Barton had the game of his career. A strip sack takeaway, a fumble scoop touchdown return, a pass breakup of 30 yards downfield, 8 tackles that tied the team lead, and that performance earned him the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations, Cody. Congratulations. Well deserved. He is the second Broncos defensive player to earn that honor. Pat Surtain is the other recipient. Will Lutz earned the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week following the win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are the Broncos for real? Say what you want. Their record's 4-3. That's not that impressive. But when you pull out stats like that and players like that showing up in Cody Barton, Patrick Surtain, and Will Lutz, all players of the week in their respective positions and games, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. And Patrick Surtain's, I didn't note it, a note on the notes, but Patrick Surtain's AFC Defensive Player of the Week was against the Raiders. So you see, these are different players, different games, but all meshing together in the Broncos defensive system under Vance Joseph, the one the Broncos country couldn't stand when he was the Broncos head coach. And frankly, I couldn't stand him last year when the Broncos defense looked pathetic. But he got away from the Vic Fangio way of doing things, and he's doing it his own way, and now it's showing. Vance Joseph, as a defensive coordinator, is very, very gifted, very, very focused, has a great defensive game plan, and the Broncos are buying into it. And Sean Payton has a fantastic offensive game plan, and the Broncos are buying into it. Are the Broncos for real? Only time will tell. But so far, so good. In the first 7 games of the season, the Broncos have 3 recipients of Player of the Week. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes that the Broncos are on the way up, not continually to be on the way down. All right. Let's see. Rudy Tord, my brother-in-law from Vegas, says, it's Josh Reynolds, by the way, not Ryan. Josh Reynolds shot in the head. When did this happen? This was October 18th on a Friday. If you listen to my topic and listen to what I was saying, it happened October 18th at leaving a strip club at 2:45 in the morning, Friday the 18th. Not yesterday, but a week ago, Friday the 18th. Rudy, go back and watch this show again after you put the pipe down, and then you understand. All right? Just saying. But thanks for being in the chat, man. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching the show. and for participating. Really do appreciate it. All right. Okay, we are at the next to the last topic of the show. This is all 32 NFL quarterbacks ranked. Now, you remember I brought this before. This is done by ESPN. I brought this before, and Josh Reynolds. Bo Nix was listed way down the list, okay? Let's go and see if things have changed. Here we go. AFC West quarterback rankings are out after week 7 of the season. Well, they're all out. All 32 out. But I'm only focusing on the AFC West, obviously, because that's the division the Broncos are in. Let me continue. Where does Bo Nix rank? Well, I'll tell you. Entering week 7, Bo Nix was ranked 28th out of 32 quarterbacks that start for the respective teams. Okay? Here is the rankings for the AFC West quarterbacks after week 7. Number 10, Patrick Mahomes. Yep, Patrick Mahomes is barely in the top 10. Ranked number 10 with a 61.2 ranking by ESPN. Number 21, Justin Herbert, 52.6 ranking by ESPN. Number 22, Bo Nix, 49.2 ESPN ranking. And rounding out the AFC West, Gardner Minshew, 33.6 ESPN ranking. Number 30. Boy, he's way down there. The top 5 are Josh Reynolds. What? Wow. Got him on my mind. Josh Allen, 77.6. Lamar Jackson, 74.3. Jaden Daniels, 73.9. Joe Burrow, 72.6. And Kyle Murray, 68.7. At number 6, this is shocking. Totally shocking. At number 6 is Russell Wilson, 66.4. The rankings are calculated how quarterbacks impact the game on passes, rushes, turnovers, and penalties according to ESPN's ranking. Wow. Russell Wilson, number 6? And Bo Nix, number 22? But you got Kyler Murray at 60. Kyler Murray is ranked, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Kyler Murray is ranked 5th. Jaden Daniels, 3rd. I don't buy into it. But then again, hey, that doesn't matter to me. I mean, if Bo Nix keeps doing what Bo Nix is doing and the Broncos keep winning games, I don't care where they rank Bo Nix. That's irrelevant. As long as you're getting the W, I don't give a frosty you-know-what where they rank him. But Russell Wilson, 6th? I don't see it, but you know, I don't know how the ESPN does their calculating. I know they said it has to do with passes and rushes and turnovers and penalties and all that, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they're meaning false start would be on the quarterback, whether it would be a legal procedure. Would that be tagged to the quarterback? I don't know how they do it, but in any case, if you got Patrick Mahomes at number 10 and you got Russell Wilson at number 6, something is wrong with that particular way of doing things, in my opinion. Patrick Mahomes is no worse. It's not worse than Russell Wilson. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. He is not worse than Russell Wilson. So however they do their calculating, I have no clue. But all I keep saying is as long as Denver wins, I don't care where they put Bo Nix on the ranking. Doesn't matter a hill of beans to me. I could care less. All right, guys, we are approaching the 1 hour of the show. I thank each and every one of you for watching, participating, wherever you may be in this great country, whether you're watching the World Series, whether you're out and about doing things, you're getting ready for Halloween. I thank each and every one of you each and every week for stopping in, dropping by. Normally, this is a Friday, and I know it's you guys expect it on a Friday. I apologize again. Sorry for it not being on a Friday. But I'm trying not to continually do this. I wasn't planned. Just some things that came up I definitely had to deal with before 5 p.m. yesterday. But I thank you very, very much for showing up tonight and for taking part in the show. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to the very last topic of this throwback Saturday show right before the Broncos game tomorrow, which will be the neighborhood will be in effect tomorrow. But Dungus Creevy and myself will be doing the neighborhood at 1 p.m., I believe, Pacific time on the MHRT network. And wherever you get that show, feel free to join us, to chime in on the chat. It's a very, very fun show. All right, here is the last topic. Here we go. Broncos Panthers prediction. Here it is. With the Carolina Panthers and the record of 1-6 facing off against the 4-3 Broncos at Mile High this Sunday, one would think this isn't even fair. However, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. Absolutely. That's my point. That's what I've been saying. Any given Sunday, okay, or any given Monday or Thursday or whatever. The Arizona Cardinals beat the LA Chargers last Monday night on a late field goal that won it. Loved it. Fantastic. But it was a trap game for the Chargers. And like it was pointed out earlier tonight in the chat, is this a trap game for the Broncos? Absolutely. This very, very well could be a trap game. And in my opinion, it is a trap game. Because after this game, next Sunday, after tomorrow, they got to go to Baltimore and play. Baltimore and play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. That's an early game. It's a 10 o'clock West Coast game. Not going to be easy. Are the Broncos going to look past the Carolina Panthers? They very well could. You got Josie Jewell on the Panthers. You know, he has a chip on his shoulder. You know, he wants to beat the Broncos. He wants to send a message and say, hey, shouldn't have got rid of me. Okay? He has a chip. Every time a player leaves and goes to another team, they have that chip. Why? Because they didn't want to leave. Sometimes they do want to leave. Sometimes they don't have a chip. Sometimes they're glad to be away from an organization. I don't see that with the Denver Bronco former players. I don't see that with Josie Jewell. I see that Josie Jewell wanted to stay. Just didn't work out. Okay, just didn't work out. Same with Justin Simmons, although I got my opinion on that, and you guys have heard that many times. So I'm not going to elaborate. But is this a trap game? I sure the heck hope Sean Payton reiterates and pounds it into these Bronco players. Don't let this be a trap game. This is not a game to just go into lightly. You have to respect it. You have to respect the fact that they can beat us. The Pittsburgh Steelers, that was a trap game. They came in. Everybody thought the Broncos were going to roll over Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson on the sidelines a whole bit. Nope. Denver lost that game. You cannot take this lightly, guys. You cannot take it lightly. That said, my prediction for this game is this. Do the Denver Broncos go into this game and treat it like a trap game? No. I don't think Sean Payton will allow that. I don't think Sean Payton will allow that one iota. No way, shape, or form. So, final score. I have the final score as this. 31-17 Carolina? No, not even a chance. 31-17 Denver. 31-17 Denver. And Denver's going to win this going away. It's going to be a lot like the Saints game where they get up and then they just start pulling away. And the Saints game was 33-10. It's going to be a little bit closer, I think, just because, because of the possible trap game coming into mind, that kind of thing. I think the Broncos kind of let their guard down in garbage time, so to speak. Like they did against the Saints. They had the Saints down 33-3, and they gave up a touchdown and made it 33-10. I think that's going to be similar. I think Denver's going to be up like 31-10, and then in a mop-up situation or a garbage time situation, so to speak, the Broncos will give up a touchdown. I think that's the possibility. It actually could be 28-17, and then Denver goes and kicks a field goal, makes it 31. There's a whole lot of different scenarios that could take place, but I really think that the Denver Broncos will not get caught off guard and get trapped in this game. I think they get. I think they win. I feel they win this game going away, 31-17 Denver, and then they will go to 5-3, and then they got the Baltimore Ravens the following week. So, yeah, that's my prediction for this Sunday. Robert Marino. Bobby says Sean Payton will have the boys ready. Yes, he will. Absolutely. No doubt about it. He is definitely going to have them ready. It's just the players, Bobby, that I'm concerned about. Do the players buy into being ready? Do the players, get on the field and maybe get up and, Broncos get up 10-0 and they kind of, take a play or two off. They can't afford to do that. Are there going to be penalties because they're not focused? Are they going to not go full out like on deep routes and kind of pull up short? I mean, these little things that can creep in if you're not 100% focused and bought into the fact that you have to play this game like you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, or you have to play this game like you're playing the Baltimore Ravens or the New Orleans Saints like we did last week. So you got to they have to look at it that way. They cannot look at it and say, okay, well, I can take a playoff, or I can kind of walk through the motions. No, you can't do that. You cannot walk through the motions. You have to play 100% intense game for 60 football minutes. All right. Okay. Welcome to the chat, Christopher Earl Ashley. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. He said, let's go Broncos. Believe. I agree. Bold prediction. He follows up. Bold prediction. Troy Franklin will have over 100 yards receiving. All right. Great. That's a great prediction. I like that. I like that a lot. Troy Franklin is really coming into his own. I had a segment where Sean Payton talked about Troy Franklin and giving him kudos and everything for his wide receiver growth in the NFL. If you didn't catch that, Christopher, go back and watch the show from the beginning. Once the show is over, it will be fully ready for you on YouTube on the MHRT network. And soon after, it will be on my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Feel free to go back and watch it. Anything you have missed, fast forward, all that kind of stuff. Anybody out there can do that. So feel free to go back. Anything you have missed. And really do appreciate it, guys. Really do appreciate it. Please give a thumbs up, a like button. Hit the subscribe if you have not. Please do so. It helps out the channel. It takes an absolute microsecond to do. Costs you nothing except a click of the mouse to indicate that you like the show and appreciate the show and the content. Really do appreciate it. Christopher Earl actually follows up by saying, sweet, thanks. Absolutely. No problem, man. No problem, Christopher. Really do appreciate you being in the chat and taking the time out on a Saturday. Last weekend before Halloween, actually last weekend before we go into November, which starts next Friday. Okay. All right, guys. Once again, I'm going to thank each and every one of you for being in the chat like I always do. If you can take the time to be in the chat, to watch this show, to listen to and watch this crazy 66-year-old guy talk about football and sports and Broncos, least I can do is acknowledge the fact that you took the time to be in the chat. Batting leadoff was Robert Marino, my nephew, Bobby, follows up by D-Rock, followed up by my brother-in-law from Vegas, Rudy Torres. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat. Clayton Huron, as always, thank you so much for the shout-out as well. Go on down the list. Then we got we wrap it up with Christopher Earl Ashley. Thank you so much, guys, for being in the chat. You mean the world to me. You absolutely do. You are the backbone of this show. It would never be anywhere close to being as good as it is without you guys. You guys bring the show. You bring the energy. You bring the questions. You bring the comments. You bring the passion. I feed off of it. I really, really do feed off of it. You guys get me going in many different directions, which is totally fine, totally okay. I love it. Thanks for your participation. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your subscriptions. Thanks for your time. Your time is very valuable, and I don't take it for granted, guys. I really don't. Thanks again, each and every one of you. each and every week for being here. If it's not on a Friday, you guys are here on a Saturday. I owe it all to you. You guys are the best. All right. D-Rock follows out and says, piggyback on Christopher. If Franklin has 2 tubbies this game, he's going to get his confidence and become the guy. Absolutely. No doubt about it there, D-Rock. No doubt about it. Christopher Earl Attree said, Broncos family. Absolutely. We are Broncos family. 100%. Guys, once again, thank you so much. I give a standing ovation, although I'm sitting, but I give you a ovation. Thank you guys once again for being in the chat, for being watching the show wherever you may be in this busy weekend. Thank you once again. And I can't say enough. You guys are the best. Absolutely the best. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Please hit the thumbs up, like button. It lets everybody else know you love the show, like the show, kind of like the show, whatever it may be. Hit the thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. Until next Friday, but wait a minute. This coming Sunday, tomorrow, is the Broncos Neighborhood with Madungus Creevy and myself doing the Broncos Neighborhood, where we have a whole lot of fun talking about the Broncos game and a whole lot of other topics that come up in the chat. It's a lot of fun. It flies by. It really does. You never know what you're going to get on that show. I don't even know what I'm getting on that show. Madungus is crazy at times. It's a lot of fun. That is tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, wherever you may be. 1 o'clock all the way to East Coast, 4 o'clock, kickoff. Broncos at home against the Carolina Panthers. And then next Friday, this show, once again, it will be Friday, Broncos Breakdown on MHRT Network, as well as Broncos Breakdown on my own channel on YouTube. That will kick off live 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, guys, until then, you have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your evening. Thanks again, guys, for showing up. Really greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the World Series if that's what you're into. Enjoy the Broncos Carolina Panthers game tomorrow. If you can, please stop by the neighborhood. It is a lot of fun. Until then, guys, have a fantastic evening. We will talk to you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street. Bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted. Wait a minute.